You failed. You failed as a leader. And most of all, Rick, you failed as a father. Just give up. Give up because you have already lost.
Welcome, everybody. Welcome to the Walking Dead review. This is your man, Ken Dogs. I know you just heard those words. Those sound like fighting words to me. Those sound like, we gotta brawl, we gotta do something. Come on, Rick, what are you gonna do? Fighting words, people. We're here to talk about The Walking Dead. We're here to talk about Dead or Alive. This was the last episode I just seen. I'm sorry for the late review. I did it. It didn't come out properly. The file got corrupted, people. These things happen. Technical difficulties. We're here to talk about what Rick should be doing. I mean, this is an episode where, from the last week's episode, let's just talk about the loss and the plunderers. We ended with a moment that seemed to suggest that Rick was finally gonna have it out with Negan. Lay that line if you're old enough, you know when you lay a line between two people, the first person to cross that line is gonna get murked. They're gonna get beat down. So we're expecting the final confrontation, people. We're expecting to see someone. If someone kills your kid, you're going. I'm just gonna go beat them up. Even more than that, they're getting taken care of. But when you hear Negan basically telling Rick, you're a poor excuse for a father, a poor excuse for a leader. These are fighting words, people. These are war times. We're talking about a Walking Dead, and you have a man that just pretty much, if you're Rick, caused your kid's death. Whether it's believable or not, because Carl, rest in peace, Carl, killed himself with stupidity. He being the kid that's lived in that time, should have known better. But we all make mistakes. R.I.P. Carl. But now we have the confrontation that should be happening between Rick and Negan and people. We're like 5 episodes left, and we're not getting what we want. What do we get? We get Dr. Carson. Who the is Dr. Carson? Who cares who Dr. Carson is, and does he believe in faith or his anything? I don't even care about his path. I don't even care that we pretty much had to see him die to kind of reference why we got a new doctor. I don't get it. Right? Dr. Carson and his whole strange story was just, his arc was just not needed. I mean, even the way he died, when he finally believed that he had some destiny to, or some foresight that God or this mystical being or this path was being laid in front of him to do something, he carelessly grabs the gun, people. Carelessly. He could have done it more slick. I mean, everyone in The Walking Dead right now who's, if they're not a newbie or if they've survived this long, should have some kind of skill set of survival. Dr. Carson didn't seem, it seemed like the Saviors pretty much had him covered. Like, he didn't really have to do anything, so he was good. He had a needed skill set, and I feel bad for the man. R.I.P. But guess what? You deserved it. Now let's get on to the other stuff. Now, when I say the other stuff, I'm talking about Rick's group. I'm talking about Daryl. I'm talking about, they're out there just doing dumb stuff. Like, they're fighting Dwight because they believe that, and Dwight is the Judas, right? He's the Judas of the situation, and we know this, but so far he's given some good intelligence, right? Dwight has done what he needs to do, and now we just have him being questioned left and right, and Daryl's not doing too good of a job of being the leader. He's questioning everything, people. He's not the person I expected in a season 8 as a character who's been there and fought off all kinds of enemies. And I mean, it's just crazy.
We're to the Hilltop. This swamp was too dangerous.
It's too dangerous for the Saviors, so you're gonna send us? the Russians.
What? Maggie.
You are the enemy. You should stay with the saviors.
Negan could be on his way here right now!
People, I'm sorry to blast this in your ear, but you heard what they're talking about. The saviors could come right now. Did you feel that watching this episode? No, I did not. I didn't feel any threats. I mean, not towards Dwight towards the end. Yes, he did the switch sider, which kind of seemed like he was trying to help Rick's group, but he went with the saviors. Who knows where his loyalties lie? I mean, they keep questioning the guy. He might as well play both sides, right? Who knows? We get to see what happens sooner or later. It's coming up. The Swamp Thing. When are the zombies going to actually be threats to these people? When are the zombies are actually going to be something where they actually care enough to be like, man, I might die if I do this? The zombies now are just like they're background noises. They're really not anything else to Hilltop or Alexandria or everyone else that's part of this show. They're kind of just like, well, stab him in the neck, stab him in the head. Everyone treats them like they're nothing. Even when you see Negan talking about, and this is one of my questions, right? Negan is going and he wants to do biological warfare. Great. Let's see how this plans out. I mean, it's in the comic book. For those who've read it, it's a big part of the story. But he takes his Lucille, takes the bat, rubs it in, gets some guts in there, and I guess they're going to use it to fling or fly on people. But if I beat you with a bat till you die, you're pretty much going to turn into a zombie anyway, right? Everyone turns into a zombie. But also, Negan, if you throw some blood on them, is that what's going to beat biological warfare? I really would love to see how this turns out, because I think everyone in the show, pretty much when they smack a zombie or whatever, has some blood splattered on them in any way, shape, or form. And I haven't seen them turn into zombies. So what makes this any different? Right? Will we get to see something that changes about the way zombie-human interaction? Which I would love to see, because everyone's getting some kind of arc or changes except the zombies. I mean, freaking Eugene now is a leader. He's talking about wipe my eyebrow. Wipe my eyebrow? Really, Eugene? You're that overconfident? You need to... I need my... Man, listen, if he didn't have a great mohawk, I would just be like, I can't watch this dude. But he got the best hair in the show. And I think it's about time we talk about where is this show going to go in 5 episodes? We're going to get the ending that we need. Is Negan and Rick, are they going to hash it out? I don't know if you can hash it out in 5 episodes when I feel like you killed my son. I mean, the letter that Carl left might come into play. We've seen the prediction of a time jump where it's all hunky-dory. I mean, it might take years for hunky-dory, but let's see how many years they push it into, or months they push it into. Will Rick be a better leader because he decides to bring Negan in, like he did with Daryl, right? You saw how Daryl changed him, and Daryl became a right-hand man. Will Daryl be able to play along with Negan now that he's part of Rick's group? Or will he be part of Nick's? I mean, these are a lot of questions to answer in 5 episodes, and we know it's coming, and everyone wants to know, what is your review? How do you feel? Is it an 8? I mean, we give it out of 5, right? So it can be an 8. I really think this episode had a lot of pacing issues. I think you could pretty much just not watch this episode and get everything you need from the next. It kind of looks like they're just really just giving you little hints. The biggest hint was the biological warfare, and that Dwight went out to be part of the Saviors and maybe is working both sides, right? That's the biggest point of this whole episode that you're going to get, people. And I give this episode a 2.5 because Dr. Carson and Eugene and all that stuff was just... Those were nuggets, but those weren't a good part of an episode to build it on. So, don't watch it. If you really want to watch it, go ahead, watch it. Tell me how you feel about it. Maybe there's things in there that I didn't catch. I mean, you know, every time you watch an episode, you always get on new things. You always get a part of the episode that maybe you should have watched, right? But from my first pass of this episode, I really thought it was a poor episode. Carl is gone. We know that Rick is going through grief, and he wants to kill Negan, and he hasn't made an attempt to go after him. I mean, he should have ran up to his gate. He did that before Carl was dead. What makes it any different now? He's not a thinker. He's more of a run and gun cowboy. So why is it any different now? He's looking for allies. Negan's group is pretty much destroyed already. Why is he still looking for allies? These are the questions that I have. Like, and in 5 episodes, I don't know if all of that, with the scavengers get built back again. I mean, their leader's still alive. There's a lot of open questions. And we know Morgan is going over to the Fear of Walking Dead. So we're hoping that this becomes something that maybe Morgan leaves, because he's left like 4 or 5 times already. So we'll see what happens, people. This is my review for Dead or Alive, or I guess the or is become friends. Would you become friends with someone like that maybe caused your kid to die, or came after you and killed a whole bunch of your friends? I don't know. That's the question that this episode pretty much poses. And this is it. Please like, subscribe, comment, hoodnewsmedia@gmail.com. You can find us on Twitter. You can find us on Facebook. You can find us on YouTube, iTunes, people. We're out there. We're putting out content. We have the new Pillow Talk, Dragon Ball Super, all those great content. And we'll have some more stuff coming up. We're going to Vegas soon, and we're going to be big out there. So look forward to hearing from you. Hood News Media, Hood News with a Z. That's HOOD and EWZ media@gmail.com. People, hit us up. We're looking forward to reviews and comments. And if you're looking for a shirt, hit us up also. We have shirts out there for our podcast, and we're just looking for our fans. And for all of you that are out of the United States, we love your feedback and love your comments. And peace.